We just watched season 1, episode 21 of Gilmore Girls. I'm about to tell Carrie what the title of this episode is. She doesn't get to know. She's never seen this before. I've seen this a million times and I can't wait because it's a season finale. And I don't know if you could hear the difference in my voice, but I'm a little excited and I'm a little excitable. So
you are amped up.
I am.
Yeah, this was the season finale. I was amped up to watch it. I've been waiting for this since episode 17. I'm like, oh, we're gearing up for the finale. And it was finally here. We finally watched it. What is the name of this episode?
I'm going to tell you in a second. I just want you to know before we get to, and I know this is towards the end of the episode, I'll tell you the title first. First, I want to thank new Patreon members, Holly Ann and Brian. Oh, welcome and thank you for supporting the show. We also want to thank Upgraded and Elevated, great friend Mallory. Thank you for your Patreon support. We'll see Mallory in the monthly coffee chat. So for Patreon and other Gilmore Friends information, go to gilmorefriends.com. That's how easy it is. And now the title of season 1, episode 21, Love, Daisies, and Troubadours.
Whoa. I put Love Triangles as my title.
Okay.
So we both it was a love. We all agree that this was an episode about love. What was it? Love, Troubadours, Daisies and Troubadours?
Yes. I thought of naming it Daisies and Confused.
Oh, very nice.
Thank
Adorable
you.
pun. I like it very much.
Because like everything in this show is referencey. And I got to say, I didn't get half the references.
The references were high in this episode for sure.
When I understand some of the references, I'm like, score. I'm so smart. But when I don't, and it's the children referencing them, I'm like, am I an idiot? Or are they just handed a script and, 17-year-olds don't normally know these references?
I think they're just handed a script. I don't think you're an idiot. Yeah.
Hey,
but I also think like all the references are from 25 years ago and we might have forgotten them by now or might have never known them.
Some of them are Shakespearean and some of them are like old timey people that I wasn't paying attention in history class or something. Some of them are bands that I think it's a band, but like, I don't know.
There's a lot of bands I don't know because I wasn't super, super into music like ever, but yeah.
Yeah. Like I'll know all the words to everything that was on the radio at that time or like more in the 90s, 80s, but I don't know that, like, I get that, Amy Sherman-Palladino is pretty on it with like more obscure bands, more like punk bands, cooler bands. I'm like, give me Alanis Morissette and.
Right. I'm like, give me the Bangles. Like I definitely had the Bangles CD in college. You know.
She definitely has a wider, not a wider, but like a more obscure.
Yeah.
Like
a broader spectrum.
Yes.
Of music tastes. Yes. Yeah. I had a pretty narrow palette, I guess.
I had like, I'll listen to everything from rap to like, but I would go from one station to the other, like the pop station to the more hip hop station to the alternative station. But if you think about it, all of those were the pop songs. I wasn't B-siding.
Right, exactly. I wasn't like when people are like, they're passing around cassettes in kids' basements all over the country. I was like, that wasn't my friends.
No.
I mean, it was a little bit, but I wasn't so into it that I was like, give me the next one, give me the next one, give me the next. Someone made me a mixtape with new songs. I liked those songs, but that wouldn't like prompt me to go buy an album. You know what I mean?
I rarely had an album. And I think I'm like so not cool because of that. I think that people who know bands and more obscure music, the B-side as we call it, are so cool. They could, reference before they were big, they were watching the Red Hot Chili Peppers before anybody knew about them.
I know. I feel like
still on
when
heroin.
we're like road tripping and there's like, I have two friends that seemingly know the words to every song ever. And it doesn't matter if it's like 60s folk or like mid 2000s rap, like everything in between. She absolutely knows every word to every song. And I'm like, are you like a song remembering savant or like, it's just amazing. And I'm like, I'm not like that. I don't know. I know the things.
I could do that with pop music, but like only from a very specific time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So let's get into this episode.
Okay.
All right. So we open.
This one starts at the house and, when Lorelai's awakened, we see her like First of all, it's the first time she wakes up early to anything, and it's not on purpose, and it's not for anything. It's actually not supposed to happen. Luke is outside fixing the porch. Lorelai wakes up Rory. Everyone's annoyed. Babette comes out. And what did you think of Luke being there so early in the morning fixing things?
I thought he was avoiding Rachel. Like, I thought he couldn't, I imagined he couldn't sleep and he wanted to go do something with his hands, like do something, and like couldn't think of what to do. And then was like, I'm going to Lorelai's to fix that thing.
That's sad, because if I'm thinking, what do I do with my hands while I'm in bed with my partner? I don't want to go to somebody else's house and fix things with my hands.
Right. But it would be the equivalent. Like if I can't sleep, I like get up and do dishes or something.
Right.
You know, but he didn't want to wake up Rachel. So he just like,
they're in the same room.
They're in the same room, and it is one room. So like,
it's not a good look.
It's not a good look. No, I don't. And like, it is rude to wake somebody up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Uninvited. I mean, what is wrong with him? But then like she like yells at Luke and like she gets locked out, and then Luke disappears as if she made it up. And I was like, is she having like a psychotic break, or is this a dream sequence? Like why did they do that? Like, why did they make?
Because I also wrote down that Luke disappears. I always thought it was a little strange. I thought it was because he didn't want to make a big deal out of it, because subconsciously he knows that he is waking up the neighborhood. He's being rude to Rachel. He's avoiding things. So I think this is okay. Because men aren't allowed to have feelings at this time in our life, they bang on things so that the person they want to talk actual feelings to comes out and pulls it out of them. That's what I got.
Oh, okay. I got you. So this was his like cry for help.
Yeah.
Because he's not allowed to ask for help or like talk about it.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. Well, your banister was broken. What is he fixing?
I'm just being manly. Like,
right. I'm just fixing stuff. I'm like, all right, you can't fix quieter stuff, or like, you can't ask me if I need it. First of all, if I want it, I don't know. Very bad.
Yeah. And I do like, I did not have boundaries. Like, I had to develop boundaries. And I think it's partially because of shows like this, where this is how you show love. You cross every boundary. You're completely wrong with what you're doing, but you're helping and you're being nice, and you don't know how to express your feelings. So you're allowed to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the defense is going to be, I'm helping.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want me to not help? Do you want me not to help you? Fine. I won't help you. I hate you. Like, what?
I thought we were friends. Okay. Yeah. And then we go.
But I was afraid we were setting this up for like every time Luke is in the scene, it's in Lorelai's imagination or some crazy thing like that, like some Fight Club thing. So I was like, oh no, they're not doing that. They're not. And luckily they were not doing that. But the first couple of scenes with Luke in it, there was nobody else present. So that I was like, oh no, it's not in Lorelai's mind, is it? And it wasn't. I think they did good. Yeah.
I do love that you said that. You're like, wait, was he there? Is this supposed to be what? I like that we watch everything together with this, so that I could see that you really were like, oh no, they're gonna do this thing.
I was like, oh, please don't. But no, they, sometimes they don't. Then we get to the inn, and it's a work day, and Michel has ennui.
Yes,
he has ennui. He's such a drama queen. It's lovely. It's hilarious, but it means he cannot answer the phone. And she's holding a stack of notebooks, puts them down. I love the props for like, why, what are in these notebooks? It doesn't matter. It's cute. It just means, it just symbolizes I'm at work.
I have a lot of work.
I'm busy. I'm a busy person. You can tell because I have a stack of notebooks in my arms.
Yes. And I happen to love the word ennui, not like because it's a word and it's a pretty word and it's a French word and all of that. I like it. I looked up the meaning just in case, because the feeling is there when he says ennui. We get what it is, but I wanted to make sure. And it says a feeling of deep, weary boredom or listlessness. And I have felt ennui.
Of course.
I have felt it.
I have felt ennui as well.
Oh my goodness.
Moi aussi. It's such a great, It's a great term, and it's so Frenchy sounding.
It is,
like,
and
it's so like the main. Oh no!
Yes, it's very rare that I like a Suki kind of character who's like bumbling idiot, but I love that she thinks that she has what other people have.
I know.
And that Lorelai had to explain what a prostate was.
Don't tell her about an ailment or she'll think she has it.
So she caught Ennui, which I actually believe can happen because people are a vibe, right?
Vibes are contagious for sure.
Yes, yeah. Just like laughing is contagious, ennui is contagious. And I love Offui.
I know. What's the opposite of, because Lorelai's all happy skippy. And she's like, I don't feel ennui. I feel, what's the opposite? And she goes, Offui. And then she declares herself cured. It was lighthearted, very funny. Okay.
Very cute.
She's but that's all we see of her this whole episode, right? Suki?
True, yeah. I think she was only there to show us how happy Lorelai was, I guess.
She was there by contrast.
Which, by the way, we're watching the scene where Lorelai and Max are talking all smushy to each other. We had the same disgusted face.
It's so
like
gross.
Somebody pulled fish out of the refrigerator that has been there for over a month and is still expecting us to eat it and not get sick.
Yes.
Like, that's the face.
Yes. I was going to throw up a little bit.
What's the French word for that face?
Blech.
Blech oui.
Yeah, it was stink face. Le stink face. But yeah, I wrote call with Max is gross. Because they're doing the you hang up first, which I think is such a teenager thing to do and not appropriate at work. You have to go back. You're both at your work. You don't have time at your job to be, no, you hang up first.
See, I wasn't annoyed because they were at work, because
I was annoyed.
I believe the kitchen with Suki is the behind the scenes of work, and they talk about their love life there. They talk about everything. I'm annoyed because it's Max. When will this end?
Yeah.
I don't like Max with Lorelai. I don't like what they say to each other. I don't feel the connection.
And the more I watch Max, the more I realize that he is Ross Geller from Friends. He's like kind of a doof. And like the more you watch him, the less you like him,
It's funny because a lot of people loved Ross, loved the character, and I never did. He is a walking ennui. He's just a sigh.
Yeah.
It's just, and then
he's
Max
so much emotional labor to hang out with Ross from Friends. And I feel like Max has this vibe where you're just like, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we lose a lot of people during these Max talks because there are people who are just so into the whole Max and Lorelai thing.
Really?
And every time I rewatch it, I'm trying to see it because he's a good guy. There's nothing wrong with him. And that's how I say good guy, nothing wrong with him, because I'm like, that's not everything. Like, you're supposed to be a good guy, and there's definitely something wrong with you.
Right.
But so
yeah, it's so funny that the bar is so low. The bar is so low for men that you're like, he's not a killer. You're like, oh, obviously a catch. The bar for good guy, like he doesn't, beat her. You're like, can we do better? Like they have no chemistry. He bosses her around. I don't know. Their relationship just it makes me cringe. It's cringy.
Me too. It always feels like he doesn't like her.
Yeah.
It feels like he just lusts her.
Yeah.
Because everything that she says that's actually her, he's like, you're annoying.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
The only time he lights up is when she says something partially sexual or
flirty, and yeah, that's true. And then
he's always messing it up with Rory every time he talks to her. And it's like, dude, you're a teacher. Like, you should know how to talk to kids.
Yeah. Yeah. He crosses the line a lot with the talking to Rory about Rory's mom. And I don't like that. That would to me be like a humongous red flag.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't like. Does your mom mad at me?
Oh my God. Your mom told me that you broke up with Dean in one of the episodes.
If you want to talk to me, I'm here for you. I remember that. I just remember that. It's so gross. Yeah. No way.
Have you met a teenager before? You're around them all
Yeah.
day.
Not you, man. Nope.
Oh,
You're not the trusted adult in her life. Not even a little.
So now we know, I guess, via this scene that they've been together for quite some time. It can't be that long because they're still in the same school year. So
right.
Congrats, whatever. We go to like the town meeting.
But then
the market.
First can we go back to Lorelai and Rory in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, they're at home.
Because they're at home and I wrote down, are they drinking out of the same bottle of milk?
Yeah, it's probably not to wash another dish.
I understand why people drink out of bottles of milk, but they're sharing a bottle of milk and both drinking out of the same one.
Yeah, doesn't that show like a continuation of like they're just, these gritty, like they have Pop-Tarts for breakfast on the way out and salad in a bag and
yeah, I'm just saying that's gross.
Is it?
Do you drink out of the same milk container as your?
It wasn't really a container. It was like a glass jar, and I would drink out of the same cup.
But then put it back in the fridge and let all your germs just fester in there in the dairy product.
So that's the thing. Later, they alluded to the fact that they don't usually keep milk in the fridge. So maybe they finished it. Maybe they don't care.
Gross.
Also, I don't think it's that big a deal.
I think it's gross. Weigh in. Tell me I'm right. That's nasty. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
I love that that's what you got from that scene.
That was all I could focus on. I don't know what they said to each other. I was just like, look at the butt. She just put that back and then the other one took it out and kept drinking out of it.
Actually, I'm really glad because they started that scene by telling each other a dream. And I wrote on my notes, dream trading equals who cares.
Yes.
Because I decided I was trying to pay attention to the dream. And then I remembered how much we don't really need to know what their dream was. The idea was that Luke is still there fixing stuff and that Rory found the box.
Right.
The Dean box.
That's where we were going on that. That's true. Yeah. She found the Dean box and it makes her nostalgic. It fills her with ennui. She's listless for Dean, but she thanks her mom. She takes out the dress. She takes out the turkey and the ill-gotten thing of
the thickener, the thing she stole.
What is the cornstarch? Oh my God,
cornstarch. Ugh. But here's the thing. So Lorelai thought that she was going to get mad at her for hiding the box when, she was supposed to throw out Rory's Dean box. But here's what she says to try to get Rory on her side. You want it for when you're old and married. And I'm like, that's so specific that while I'm married, I'm going to need to look at everybody else who loved me and my other. It's just maybe when you're old and like, I don't know, want to reminisce, but it was so specifically old and married. And I wonder what, because it's usually women who do this. I wonder what the men who are married to them while they're looking at it.
I know. Hey, honey, what you looking at? My first love. The dress I wore on a date with my first love. And you're like, all right, have fun, honey. Smooch.
Because as a woman myself who like, I might have some, I threw out all the letters at this point, but I don't see it. If somebody else tells me that they have it, I don't see it as something weird or anti your current partner. But I could see the defense of, hey, we actually got married. You want to stop?
But I
don't know.
I do think at this point of my life, looking at photos of me at 15 with my first boyfriend is adorable.
Photos are different. I always see photos as different.
Photos are different. But if I'm showing my current partner at my advanced age, here's my boyfriend at 15. Look at us. We look, and he's not like, who is that?
Pictures are so cute because it's like, look, we thought we were in love. Look at this. Look at this.
Or like, but I don't think I would absolutely love to see the pictures of him at that age with his first girlfriend.
Me too.
And
and I would be fine with reading their love letters.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's normal. I'm fine with it because I I trust that you really love me like you say you did. And,
right.
You know, some of that has been my problem historically, but whatever. We're good now.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny how because like I found pages that me and my friends used to write to each other, like, I'm in this class and I'll see you at that class. And oh my God, so and so is this. And we would pass it in the hallway.
Yep.
So I found those and I see those as the same as, you know, this guy thought he was in love with me. If it's that kind of, you know, high school,
right,
collegey, young people, you know.
I think just being really selective about what you save. Like, I don't think I would save an entire dress from that era. I think I would save letters and photo. I think this is what I have saved: letters and photos, and like a very small physical object. Saving an entire dress or an entire turkey is going to get in my way as I move. The first time you move, you're like,
yes.
am I going to move this freaking turkey and this dress? Like, no, like save the love letters, the photos, maybe a flower, like whatever. But like, I'm not saving clothing and like.
Yeah. So I want to know if this has bothered anybody because it was their partner who saved it, because I always think it's very innocent, and I think if it bothers you, either like you're just the person who's bothered by it, or there's a vibe that you're picking up. Again, vibe. Everything's a vibe.
Everything's a vibe.
There's a vibe.
We got a vibe.
Okay. But Rory was okay with keeping the box, so that worked out. Then
we get to town, and Rory and are being adorable.
So cute.
And she's like, I'm going in.
Wait, there was a reference that I knew. Of course, you know it too. Lane was talking about how the cheerleader is.
Oh yeah,
you're a vicious bimbo who will be turning letters as a profession one day, and the only way you'll know which letter to turn is when it dings and lights up.
Yep.
Who's that?
Vanna White.
Correct.
And she also makes a reference to, I almost went full Matrix on her. And this came out in 2001. And The Matrix came out in 1999. So that was a very current reference. Yeah. That was only like a year and a half old. So kudos for them. And like,
true. And in all fairness, The Matrix became a reference immediately.
I know. And it's still a cultural touch point for like, are we in the Matrix? Like, people say that now because of that movie. And when this aired, that was only like in the recent, like, remember when the Matrix hit? We just couldn't believe it. Was amazing.
It was so successful philosophically and visually right away that people went to go see it in the theater over and over again, even when we didn't have passes that you can go the whole month.
Oh, yes.
Like,
I saw it multiple times in the theater.
Yeah, it was badass right away.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a big hit. So I thought that was funny that she made a Matrix reference, because that was very here and now. So Rory goes into the market acting like a crazy person. Lane has no chill and is standing outside the plate glass window being weird.
I love that.
And adorable. And she goes in to find Dean and gets he is not at work. And I hate this word, the box boy. Like, I don't like that. I feel weird saying box boy. It sounds loaded for some reason. But she's like, I'm looking for your box boy, and then some other guy. And we don't know this person, right? This is a new face for us.
Yes. Okay. And I'm so glad you didn't yell, that's Kirk. So you knew the difference.
I'm getting, it only took a season, and now I'm totally on top of it. 21 episodes. We're nailing it now. But so this new guy is there. The point is, it's not Dean. And he's like, what do you want? And then she stumbles. She asks him whether or not he likes the box boy profession. And I just wanted to sink into a hole, because that was way more embarrassing than if she had just said, oh, never mind, and walked out.
Right.
Her covering for not knowing what to say was the most awkward possible response.
It's true. And it's very on brand. And I got to say, as usual, I recognize myself in this. That is how I would lie. I need an improv class for lying. I do not know what to say.
Would you use the term box boy, though?
No, but it's not 2026. And is she the one that called him a box boy?
I think so.
Yeah.
No?
I don't remember, but I don't know if that's the title of your thing, and now it changed. You know, we used to call people stewardess. Now they're flight attendants.
It's true.
So back then we said stewardess.
All right. That's true.
Yeah. I don't
know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be me. Zero chill.
Zero
it would
chill.
also be me as Lane looking through the window going, I have no life. Let me live vicariously through you. So I relate to this, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, I think I would have gone in with her. Like, I think like I would have been like, come in with me. I can't go alone. You have to come in with me. Mm-hmm. And like Lane and Rory would go in together and be like,
but like different aisles, like, oh, we're totally just shopping.
Yeah. Until one of them saw him and then ran to the other and was like, he's in that aisle. But that didn't work out.
And Rory she's so bad at all of this stuff that she even said, like, I bet he's with some Thursday afternoon, one of those Thursday afternoon girls.
Is that a thing? Like, that's not a thing.
No, of course it's not a thing. She's just a child.
She's just making it up.
Yes.
But then she gets confirmation from Rory that not only is he's not seeing, I thought she was going to go in the store. And I said this to you. I was like, oh no, she's going to go in the store and he's going to be with another person. He's going to be with another girl. And like, then she's going to have to like see it and have the shock and like back out of the room. And I was like, don't be with another girl. Don't be with another girl. Don't be. Because of course I had wanted them to get back together because I thought their breakup was garbage. So
how cool was I in not giving away whether they got back together or not?
You were very cool. You were very, very, very cool. Yes, you're the coolest.
So proud of myself.
Yes, you're very good. But then, so Lane does confirm that he is not only not with anyone else, but that he is miserable.
She said he's miserable, suicidal, and in desperate need of a haircut.
And then Rory's like, thanks.
Yep. Friends.
Yeah, you're a good friend.
And it was very sweet. And then we cut to Tristan.
What's he up to?
Why do people like Tristan?
What's he up to? So he goes.
What's he up to? Every bad thing.
He does a bad thing. And he's like, they're at the lockers. And it's true. A lot of drama happened at the lockers. And he's like, I got 2 tickets to PJ Harvey. And right, we're not skipping a part. That was at Chilton, right? And he's like, I got 2 tickets to PJ Harvey. You're a fan, right? And Rory's like, yeah. And he's like, one's for me and one's for you. I don't know. He doesn't say, will you go to this concert with me? He dances around it and makes her say, have fun. And then he's like, I don't know. How did he phrase it? It was very weird. It sounded like he wasn't asking her to go out. She's like, oh, if it was the 2 of us hanging out outside, like it would be a date. And he's like, well, it would be a date. And I was like, what a gross way to ask someone out. Mm-hmm, what an indirect, slimy way.
Yeah. She's so direct. She says, I can't date you, Tristan.
Yeah.
You know what he says to that? I give you permission.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
I can't with him. And the fact that he actually just expected her to be like, oh my God, PJ Harvey, like you so know me. I didn't know you knew me that well.
Right. And I would date anyone to get to see that concert.
Yeah. I can't possibly do this by myself.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
She's strong enough to resist a band she likes to go with the despicable person.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not even asking her nicely. So yeah, and then
I know he's like tricking her into going with him. It's so gross. Ooh, I hate him so much.
Everything with him is trying to trick you into something. So now we see what I used to call the mean girls, right? And here's the thing. Okay. I have a PSA. I was calling Luis and Madeline the mean girls, but a fellow Gilmore friend, shout out to Dolores, we had a conversation on YouTube about this, and she changed my mind about them. Because she mentioned that like they're not actually the mean girls. Maybe like one is, but the other one's just following along. Like there was a whole thing. Mm-hmm. From now on, I'll be calling them the Paris Posse because they are not actually the mean girls.
It's a posse. Well, I think one of them was meaner than the other one. Like the brunette who's Madeline. Madeline?
Yes,
Madeline.
She's nicer.
She's nicer. And the blonde one just seemed to be the horny one or the boy crazy one.
Yeah. See, the thing is you're not allowed to read the YouTube comments.
I'm not allowed to read the YouTube comments. But we're now supposed to call them the Paris Posse.
Yes. Yes. But because Carrie's not allowed to read.
I don't get consulted on these things now.
No.
All right.
But since you're not allowed to read YouTube, just so you all know, I am reading the comments on YouTube. We're doing a live stream. So we've been going live. We're doing it pretty regularly now, and we're responding to feedback. We're reading live reactions while we chat. We chat about our life. We chat about Gilmore Girls, excuse me. Okay. So the next time we're streaming, it's going to be a little different because right now we are at the finale. So our next stream will be a wrap up of the whole season. So you got to be subscribed. Those who have been to the live feed, shout out to you. It's been fun reading your stuff as we're talking. That's really cool. It's exclusively on YouTube, and the wrap-up show will be live and for free, like I said, on YouTube. And then later we'll put it on our Patreon page. So if you missed it, catch it there. So we'll see you on YouTube in a little bit. And we're calling them Paris Posse, and maybe I'll read that.
I have to get on board. What happens if I don't get on board? What happens?
Well, that's your chance to defend it when I read you the actual comments.
Oh, I see.
Now,
I see.
I do have to redact some stuff from the comments to you. I don't know if that's...
I can't believe you're calling them Mean Girls when in season 3, they get the Nobel Peace Prize. And I'm like, well, don't read that to Carrie because then she'll know. So I assume they're going to have growth. I don't assume because the first couple of episodes, the characters are so flat. You know, they're villains. Like they're just not interesting. And I think the turning point was supposed to be the Bangles concert. But then there was the mix up with Tristan telling Paris that Rory asked him to ask her. And that set back the friendship quite a bit.
They did, but they were back on track.
And Madeline invited her to a party, right?
She invited her to a party here in this episode. She's asking her for the biology notes. They're saying hi to each other.
Right. So I think they're secretly like actual friends. Like if Rory
except Tristan ruined it.
Again.
He ruined it.
Another time.
Yeah.
And
he told the Paris Posse that Rory is going to the concert with him after she just said he's not. And of course, Paris gets upset because it just seems like Rory is, kind of messing with her. And although Paris is a little in her own head.
Paris is a little sensitive to what she wants to see. And she's a little guarded and a little sensitive. So
technically, Rory can go to a concert with this dude. He didn't. I don't know. He's such an idiot.
But you're right. Rory is not beholden to not go. She could if she wanted, but she's never wavered on not being interested, except
when she kissed him.
Except for the smooch at the piano, but it wasn't her fault. She was super upset.
And she cried.
Yeah.
And she straightened it out. She was like not in a good head. So, okay. Oh, Tristan,
I still can't believe they kissed. I still can't believe they kissed. That was so wrong. All kinds of wrong. He didn't see her come in the room. She could have left.
That could happen. I think you can also want to kiss someone you don't like. Sorry. Especially as a teenager.
It's true.
It's, you could really, I've kissed somebody I don't like. Like, I actually don't like you, but I'm attracted to you. I don't know. Those are different body parts.
All right, Paris Posse. So we go back in town.
Yeah.
And we run into Rachel running into, this is such a painful scene. Another really painful scene. So Rachel bounces up to Lorelai and she's like, "Hey, have you seen Luke?" And Lorelai's like, "Is he not in the diner that he lives in?" He's never not in the diner. So she's checking, I don't know, it was a little silly for her to recommend that as if Rachel hadn't thought of that. But anyway, she's like, "No, he's not in there, blah, blah, blah." And then it comes out where Rachel's like, "He seems to sure be spending a lot of time at your place."
And this is when, I really like that the writers didn't make them go against each other where it's he's at your place.
It was not a confrontation. It's true.
It was very regular and everyone was very on best behavior in the most respectful and honest way.
Yeah.
Because Lorelai was like, he's really just fixing things. And Rachel goes, yeah, I know. He told me. And Lorelai goes, good. It was very much like a, hey.
Yeah. And I like that the writers did that. And that's how you know it's a female writer because they didn't have a cat fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and she wasn't like, why are you touching my man? Blah, blah, blah. Like
and it wasn't passive aggressive.
And
either.
it wasn't mean, but it was awkward.
Yes.
And it wasn't biting or insulting or like demanding to know what's going on, but it was sad.
When is it not sad that you have to look for your boyfriend?
I know.
What?
They didn't have cell phones back then.
You're looking for tell him to check in. He missed lunch. She made tuna. Ew. But you're making tuna? Congrats. You live in a diner. But you missed lunch.
But like he stood up. He stood you up. Your own boyfriend stood you up and you're being like, where's Luke? I don't know. It was very painful, very awkward, very sad. Mm-hmm. And of course, we, the viewer, knows what's going on, but like Rachel has no idea what's going on. I cannot believe that Lorelai has not put this together yet, but okay. We're keeping Lorelai stupid for now because we need her to be.
Listen, fair enough. You have a girlfriend. We have been friends. You have fixed things in my house. And I'm not gonna be the one to say, hey, do you like me?
Yeah, but right, because he's had several almost confessions, but no concrete,
You know what's concrete? Moving your ex into your place and calling her your girlfriend.
I know.
That's the concrete information.
Overnight. She's, by the way, she's still on her way back from Chicago. Like, do you remember? Like, she was supposed to be this was the layover. She's still on a layover.
Well, I thought she was just like, I wanted to, I don't remember, but.
She came into town with a suitcase and hasn't left yet.
No, because she lives with him. She
lives with him, but Luke. It's just so weird that she like moved in. I don't know, whatever.
That's so sad.
So that was a painful episode. And then we cut to Lorelai walking into her own home and she hears something and she grabs a plastic umbrella for defense, which was.
I've grabbed worse.
I know. You like grab whatever's within reach because you need to feel like you have something in your hand.
As if an umbrella, like as if I could move the umbrella quickly enough for it to hurt anyone.
Exactly. As if like, even if I picked up like a crowbar, I can't swing it hard and fast enough to like do not a lot of damage. I need to work out my upper body is what I'm saying.
Even if you pick up a knife, for a long time, and I would even do it now, although I don't think it really helps. If I'm walking by myself at night, I will put the key between a finger.
I learned that too. I've never had to I've luckily, knock on wood, never have to see if that would even work.
Right. I don't know, because you're supposed to go for the jugular, and I'm like, yeah, right. All of a sudden, I'm going to turn into the kind of person who could stab you in the neck.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just trying to like make myself feel better about this very vulnerable position.
It has way more to do with posture and how you walk than it does like you holding keys between your fingers is my theory.
And it also has to do with like, hey, that's the crazy that came upon you today.
Yeah.
Like,
wrong place, wrong time,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I always wonder like if a crazy person came upon me, suddenly attacked me, like with the keys, but that's what we were told as children. This was self-defense. Like,
please, you know what else we were told? To pick a poo and throw at them, to pee on ourselves. Like,
to put your finger down your throat and vomit on them.
Oh.
Ugh. Now, I'm way more likely to talk my way out of it. Just be like, here's what's going to happen. Because I'm bossy. So I'll be like, here's what's going to happen. You're not going to mug me.
These are all things that we say to ourselves to feel better. I can talk myself out of it. I can key him. I can pee myself on command. Like all things that, hey, we're just trying to get in the door. I just
try to keep my bag on the opposite side of the street, crossbody, and walk with my shoulders square and my head on a swivel. And that's
the thing. I've heard men talk about this, that if they are walking behind a woman and it's late at night and they're the only ones on the street, they will cross the street.
Thank you.
To give us the peace.
Yep.
Even though they're supposed to be on that side, they will understand if we cross the street.
Yep.
Because to me, you're all potential killers.
Yeah, and men don't walk around thinking this at all. It's not on their radar at all that it's not safe to walk around alone at night?
It depends. Not against maybe a female, because I know it's controversial, but we are weaker. Not all of us. But like, hey, you could be my size and you're probably going to dominate me physically. I do not have that strength.
Yeah. I've always thought in my head, I could probably take on one drunk short guy. But if it was two, I probably couldn't.
Again, things we say to ourselves, I'm sorry. With luck, yeah, we could do the right move and trip them in the right way.
I'm scrappy,
I think the same way. And I've tested boyfriend on it. Like, oh yeah, I could totally. He's like, I'm holding back. And I'm like,
right. I know. No. I hate that. I'd be like, I'm actually I'm actually just restraining you. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you say you and I go take some self-defense classes and we'll get really...
Of course I have, but these are the things that they tell. What can you possibly teach? You have to be in like Taekwondo for years.
Let's do it. We got years. We got 6 more seasons.
Okay. Well, the umbrella didn't have to work because it turns out Luke was the one in Lorelai.
Luke was in the house and she didn't end up hitting him. Thank you for pulling it back. Woo, we did it. So Luke is in the house. She ends up like holding it up, but she doesn't actually hit him. It's great. And she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I broke in. Boundaries, people don't have them. He broke in to prove that someone could break in, which is just the best logic I've ever heard.
You know what more? The logic also was, I'm here to fix the backdoor lock. Right. So I broke in.
Right. So that it needs fixing, because anyone else who broke in, it just makes no sense. The point is, he just wants to be there.
Yeah, Lorelai's his safe place. People can't talk feelings to a lot of people. I think that she might be the only one he could
Yeah, he's on her wavelength. They're on each other's wavelength. They get each other.
So she makes him admit that he's hiding from her, from Rachel. And it's really sad because I'm hearing Luke saying things like, oh, I'm a loner. I just want the milk in the same place. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. And by the way, I made the list of the loners that they mentioned.
Oh, please. Thank you. Yeah. I remember some of them, but
I thought you might appreciate it.
Thank you. I was hoping you did. What is the list? And we'll see if we get all of them.
Here are the lonely guys. Lee Harvey Oswald.
Murder.
Assassinated JFK. John Muir.
He was the national parks guy.
Yeah.
But he did it by himself. That? Yeah. He was a loner, but he made national parks.
Yeah, he was a conservation pioneer.
Mm-hmm.
The Unabomber, who we talked about, I think, in the last episode or two.
Yeah, he lived in a shack in the woods by himself.
Mail bombing campaign. Henry David Thoreau.
He wrote Walden, and he lived by himself, or he claimed he lived by himself.
Yeah, he was a poet, philosopher. You got it. That was the list.
That was the list?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Go me. The rumor has it that David Thoreau didn't actually live alone and that his mom was delivering him food the whole time. I don't know if that's true. I like thinking it because that's right. You write a whole book about solitude, but your mom's bringing you food the whole time. Someone weigh in. I don't know if that's true, but I like thinking it.
I'm not really too familiar, so I'll go with that.
He was like, I live by myself in the woods and I look at nature and I think super deep thoughts. Look at me. Wrote a whole book, became a philosophy book. And then I don't know if someone, to discredit him, was like, yeah, you were like 7 yards outside your mom's house.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think Luke is a loner. I think he doesn't have a lot of people in his heart, but I don't think he would be bothered by the milk being put in it. Although I do think that is one of the things that bothers people about having a live-in person.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, if you weren't here, I would know exactly where everything is. And to that I say, no, you wouldn't. You just think you would know that. You're the one who thinks it.
I put things down in every item I own is going to be in a single location. Like my keys are on the hook or in my bag. That's it. So like, although the keys aren't something a partner would move, but like, yeah, if a partner moved in and like put my plates away in a different spot, I would be disproportionately enraged.
Okay.
It is an adjustment. When you live alone for a while, it is a crazy adjustment to live with another person. And I think I'm like at the tipping, like I've lived alone for so long now that like it's an adjustment when you like go on vacation and you're doing shared space and shared bathroom and stuff like that for like days at a time, not just one overnight or two. It's like a little adjustment.
Yeah, I used to be able to crash at people's places, and now I'm a little more hesitant. Although I am the person who could do it a little more freely. I don't mind. When I go to my brother's house, I sleep on the couch. The other brother has a whole separate space, so that's kind of nice. But I think as you grow older, your things are your things. But Lorelai says worst trait is she's a milk whore. Remember when we could say whore?
I know. Remember when whore was an insult? So rude. That's a working person.
Right.
We evolved. Yeah. So her worst quality is that she's a milk whore. And he's like, that's not the point. But like what we're getting as the audience is like, he just doesn't like her that much. Like he would make these concessions for Lorelai.
Right. Yes. These are things that weigh on you, but you learn how to live with that other.
These are the things you overlook when you really, really like someone.
It's the thing that I get why it would be annoying, but it's the thing that you have to make space for in order to have the rest of the good stuff.
Right.
So if somebody moves your milk, technically you could just be like, hey, the milk goes here. And that person has to go, oh, this bothers you. It doesn't bother me. See, to me, the compromise is who does it bother more? That's the person that we should try to accommodate.
Right.
Because to me, I don't care where the milk is. So if you do, I will put it where you say. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So you'd be a good roommate, you know?
I wasn't in my day because I was messy and my stuff was in the living room. So shout out to the roommates who had to deal with me. But I think I'm okay now. I'm okay.
Yeah. See, I think I would be a bad roommate because I'm too neat. So I'd be like, could you not leave your blanky blank on the coffee table? I like a clear coffee table. And then you'd be like, either you'd be like, okay, I will try to do better with this. I didn't realize it bothered you. Or you'd be like, it shouldn't bother you. You're incorrect.
See, that's the thing. We've had these conversations, me and Xerxes, and it's like, you know, one day he was like, I think we shouldn't have dishes in the sink before we go to sleep. I think dishes should be done before bed. And so I'm like, done, you know, although I'm like, but I don't want to do the dishes all the time.
Right.
But I was like, okay. And it was like from then, it's only been a handful of times that we missed it. But I do them because he was so grossed out by it and so annoyed having to live like that I go, who's going to argue with you need to do the dishes before you go to sleep?
Right. But another argument could be like, if it bothers you, you should do the dishes. And I've heard this argument too, where it's like, doesn't bother me, so I'm not going to do that. And like, I think in a partnership, like what you guys did was right. I know. Cause like, but I've had that debate too, where it'd be like, well, I'm not the one who gives a crap where the dishes are. So like, if it bothers you, you fix it. We're like, oh man. Yeah. Now I'm like, cause I didn't have this problem when I lived alone.
Right. Yeah, these are the weird things that can take you out of a romantic head unless you actively stay in a romantic head where this is going to sound really corny, but I do the dishes and I feel, and like, it's not like we don't take turns. I feel like I do the dishes more because that's actually the chore that I prefer doing than other stuff. So I do it. But these are the kinds of things where when I'm doing it, I'm like, no, he wants the best for our house. And I want this now. Now I feel uncomfortable when the dishes are in the sink. And he has
I'm with him on this rule. There's no dishes in the sink to go to bed. And that's another symptom
be on my side of that. So.
Another symptom of my being really sick a couple of weeks ago was that I left dishes in the sink overnight because I was that sick. Like when I had the flu, I was like, you can tell I'm really sick. And I live alone, but I was like, dishes in the sink overnight, don't care. It's fine. No energy. I could not stand up to do them. Anyway.
So do you think if you lived with someone, do you think you would just do the dishes and so that you don't have to have that conversation about the sink should be empty?
No, I think I would say, I would say I like to not go to sleep with dirty dishes. Like we both need to be on top of this.
You know what? Super side note, but I thought this was so interesting. This was like 20 or even more years ago. A friend of mine, her boyfriend asked her to move in. Now they weren't married at the time, but they were in a serious relationship. She had a rent-controlled apartment by the tunnel to Jersey in Manhattan, in Hell's Kitchen. Adorable apartment. She had it set up so beautifully. She's a very organized person. She knew exactly where everything was. It was like a tiny house, 1 bedroom. And he's asking her to move in with him in Jersey. And she's like, look, I'm the only one taking a risk here. She drew up a contract.
Ooh.
Yes. That had stipulations of, look, if we break up before a year and I had to give up a rent controlled apartment, this is what and I don't really know the details of it, but it helped her feel more comfortable that she wouldn't be just completely asked out if they were to break up. I mean, they're married now. They're still together. This is, a couple decades later. They made a really good couple, but she was very logical in her, and she's been burned a couple of times.
That's the thing is like you get burned, but I like this idea of a contract of
and it was very logical, and she still had romantic feelings, and she was still a lovely and loving person. He signed it. I don't think he gave her any flack about it, and they were grown-ass adults. They were like,
and he was like, "Let me have my lawyer look this over, and I'll get back to you in 6 business days."
Getting married is a contract, so this is just another contract. I was so in awe of her, and I admired it.
Yeah, but that's like when people are like,
would do it,
but it's the people who say that prenups aren't romantic, and you're like, the marriage is a contract, the prenup is a contract.
Yeah, it's an amendment to the contract that you're signing.
Yeah. I don't think it's not romantic. I think you are being responsible and adult.
Right. And a lot of times it might not even be your money that you're protecting. It's your family money that they insist on. Whatever it is, it's like you're already signing a contract that you promise one thing. So it's the same contract that you're promising another.
Yeah. True.
Okay. So that's
all right. So can we get to the Girl Scout?
Yeah. This was such a weird scene.
So weird. We go to what we assume is Dean's house, or I don't know if I remembered what Dean's house looked like, but anyway, Rory's there, so I assume it's Dean's house. A girl answers the door.
So I was wondering if you knew what was happening, because I know we've never seen Dean's house before.
Oh, okay.
So I'm wondering if you're second guessing yourself when this little girl opens the door. Do you know where Rory is?
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But I thought this little girl looked one of those weird, like, is she 13 or 30? Have you seen that subreddit? She had a weird 13 or 30 vibe to me. And I was like, her voice said she was 13, but her face looked weirdly like adult.
She was supposed to be 9 or 8 or something.
No, gross.
Yeah, it's just a very weird character. I feel like I feel like she belongs on the show Little House on the Prairie.
Ah, nice.
And that would be very fitting.
Right, because like the 1880s ages you as a little girl. We find out her name is Clara, and she is Dean's sister. And she says, "You're the girl on the photos." And then she mixes up her tenses, and Rory freaks out and makes her cry, which is so weird. And then we hear Dean in the background say, "Who is it?" And Rory just takes off.
Which is so silly.
Great. Good stuff.
I can tell who you are by the back of your head. I mean,
I recognize my girlie by the back of her head.
Oh, what
sorry.
Is that?
That's a Beastie Boys line. I'm so cool.
But that's probably means gross things. In this
it was not done in this nice context.
Cool.
So, and like Rory does the, like, I'm a Girl Scout. We dress normally to blend in. She's like, I'm going to be a brownie. It's so like, move it along, guys. This is the season finale. I don't have time for this. Is Dean there or not? I found the sister annoying to me plot wise. It was like, we got it. He's not there, or he's gonna run away. And so like she runs away, and like Dean can't tell who it is from her run.
That there's no way that he can't tell. But in this story,
he doesn't know.
Later on, we find out he's like, "Oh, Clara recognized you from the picture."
Yeah,
like, that is the goofiest run. And
yeah. And she's like, "That's the girl." Like at the town meeting later, she's like, "That's the Girl Scout." And then Dean puts it together. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay,
that was goofy.
Whatever. So anyway, Dean is, I don't know, high and doesn't realize that it's Rory running from his home. Which is so weird.
If we want to go further, I think that Rory would know who Clara was.
Yes. I also think Rory would have at least seen her. They dated for exactly 3 months, as we know.
They're not dating in the streets all the time. They've been to each other's house. That's where you go.
I know. How does she not know? They've never seen a photo of Clara, like whatever.
The whole town is about 1,000 people big. You've seen Clara.
Yeah. She went there to see Dean. Dean is there. Why does she run away?
I don't know.
What? Like, you went there hoping he would answer.
I know.
There's this tiny like road bump.
Well, now she's crying, so
she's gonna be like, "Why'd you make my sister cry?"
Yeah. You want to be like, "I wasn't there." Oh, Rory.
Yeah, I didn't make it. Yeah, awkward. Rory's just weird.
Just stop lying.
Then we get to
the town meeting.
Oh my God. Do we have to talk about
the town meetings? I know you love it. I know you love it.
It's so weird. Everybody in the town is there. Rory and Lorelai and Max are going together. Max buys them pop rings.
And I love that Dean and his sister are there.
Why is a 9-year-old at the town meeting?
It's like an 8 o'clock or 9. Like, what are those children doing in the
Where
town
are their
meeting?
parents? Why is Dean there? Where is his parents?
Since when does Dean go to the town meeting?
Where was he at the other town meeting we were at? So ridiculous.
This pushed it a little.
So plot wise, we needed him there because there is this ridiculous town. Can we just skip over the Troubadour thing? I don't have it in me. We going to talk about the Troubadour?
We don't have to.
But the guy stands up and he's like, "I'm a traveling hobo," and this other traveling hobo.
We don't say that.
We don't.
Mm-mm.
Oh shoot! I'm a traveling musician man, and the other guy is usurping my spot. Tell him to stop, and I don't care. But what we're getting at is that Rory stands up spontaneously and defends singing when you can't speak, singing from the heart when you can't speak from your soul. Very weird. So embarrassing.
It was, but I like to think that if you're actually speaking from the heart like that, it should be embarrassing, but I hope you're not embarrassed because at least you're saying something.
It's true. It's true.
Like, be embarrassed in that way.
I found it cringy and very, like, plot weird.
Yes.
But I feel like there was another way we could have made them cross paths.
Fair enough. Yeah, that was a very weird scene.
That was...
The Troubadour... But I'll tell you this. Gilmore Girls is where I found out what the word Troubadour is.
I know where I learned where the word Troubadour is from. I learned it from a Fish song. I liked Fish. I still like Fish. What? What'd you say?
Says you're one of those whites.
I'm one of these whites. I like Fish. Whatever. It is chill music. But there is a song where they say something about a troubadour, and then I had to look that up.
Yeah, I didn't know that's because I've seen them growing up in New York all the time. I've been that person a couple of times to try it out, just to see.
The busker, to see what it's like.
I sang like in the train and in the park, and people give you money.
Not this troubadour. He turns it down.
That's odd.
I know. So that's why I don't want. It's just this weird thing that got put in just this episode. Are we going to talk about troubadours all next season? I don't know, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I don't have energy.
Well, because so the only other thing in this is that Lorelai and Max were sitting behind Luke.
Oh, yes, okay.
And when Lorelai said anything to Luke, Max pulled her near him like they're 13.
Yes.
And that's his
And I don't know which is worse. If he's doing it consciously or unconsciously, both are bad. Mm-hmm. And I don't know which one is worse, because if it's unconscious, he's got some issues with like ownership. And if it's conscious, he's a 5-year-old and needs to go to therapy. I mean, either way, he needs therapy. But mm-hmm. I did clock that like she has a quick exchange with Luke. She throws a French fry at his face, which I don't think you should do to a person.
Ever.
Nobody ever throw food at my face, ever. Nope.
Don't
nothing.
Throw at me.
Yeah. Nothing into my moneymaker. This is right here. My face.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
No, that's so disrespectful. The cake during the wedding, don't smash it in
my face. Oh, no, we're not,
don't mush anything on my face. Those videos of people, like their person walks into their home and a bucket of something falls on them.
Oh, yeah.
Do not.
That's not the kind of prank I want. You got to know me well enough to know that nothing goes on my face. Or if something does have to go to my, like I've done sketch comedy, and like for a sketch, something I have mentally prepared.
That's different.
So like, and that is different. Like I had to put duct tape over my face for something. Oh. And I was like, I could wrap my head. Nothing spontaneously on my face.
Right. If it's part of a skit, it means it belongs somewhere.
Right. It means
I thought it out and it was funny.
Right. I gave consent. Mm-hmm. But anyway, so she chucks a French fry and then they have a little exchange, and then Max gets all twitchy and gross and like pulls her in, and then she doesn't notice it because she's dumb in this episode. That's fine. I wrote Max is jealous.
Yeah.
That's it. Before that, I wrote Rory stands up for Troubadour.
We can move on.
Next line, Max is jealous. Okay. Thank you, Rory, for standing up for the troubadours of the world. We appreciate it. It is a fun word to say, though, troubadour.
It is a cool word. Sometimes I'm like, oh, am I the only one who didn't know the word troubadour? Because they're just...
No, you didn't listen to Fish because you're not one of these whites.
I couldn't. I tried getting into Fish.
I love them so much. And I was in the closet about loving them until one day I was like, I'm going to be me.
Yeah.
And I just like never looked back.
You hear something that I don't. And I tried to hear it because people that I've liked like Fish. And I'm just like, you're a smart person. You have great taste. I cannot hear this. I don't know what I'm hearing. I'm trying. All I can tell, I think they're on like more drugs than I am, and I need to get on their level.
It's relaxing. All right, I'm not even going to defend Fish because it's so controversial. No one will be on my side. Everyone is on your side.
They're so rich. A lot of people are on your side. I have
argued this with people, and I don't even affiliate with their fan base. I'm not a Fish head.
Yeah, nobody does.
I've been to a couple of their concerts. But like they came to Madison Square Garden a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh, I should go see them. It'll be fun. Like a little throwback. Tickets were like $300. And I was like, nope, not worth it. Not for my nostalgia gene, But
a lot of rich people like Fish.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess I'm too broke to like Fish now.
Yeah. I knew someone who's like so into Fish. He's like, yeah, I probably bought their second home for them.
Oh my God.
That's how much he went.
No. Gross. But anyway, so I was in the process of writing Max is jealous, and you said, look up.
Yeah.
And I looked up.
Oh, you were already writing that because I didn't want you to miss how Max was jealous and pulling Lorelai in.
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I told you to look up because Rachel was revealing that she had packed her bags.
She unpacked her bags. And
I wanted you to see the casualness of her
stepping out from behind the counter, and she's got all her bags with her.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're leaving. At least you're saying goodbye. And he's like, is it another guy?
Well, because she says, don't you want to know why? And he's like, I know why already. And here's the thing. She says it's because of another girl. Obviously, it's a girl that he likes. Do you know that in that entire scene, they didn't say the word Lorelai?
Yeah.
They just said, oh,
we're just friends. They don't name her. It's true. He says they're just friends. Like Luke thinks they're talking about Miss Patty. because they never clarified that they're talking about Lorelai.
That's the thing. If we don't even have to say the word, like, yikes.
Yeah. They both know who she's talking about. I mean, I've been dumped where I was like, are you seeing someone else? And they were like, no. And I was like, we both know who I'm talking about, you know? Because
I get that. Yeah. Yes. And I also, oh my God, after I split, oh boy. Okay. So in a last relationship, I was cheated on a lot. When I found out, it was like the sixth sense, and it was devastating. And one of the people, I asked a friend, I'm like, I really always had my suspicions about, and he filled in the name. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It was so obvious.
Yes.
You don't want to believe that the person who says they love you are doing that right in your face. Like, so I tend to not believe it because I'm like, no, there's no way somebody would be doing that. Like,
right.
Oh, man.
I know.
Oh,
it is such a gut punch. It is the worst gut punch in the world.
I mean, vibe is one thing, but I think something actually happened.
Right.
Yeah. Because vibe, like, I believe, no, even at this point in my life, I'm like, stop with the vibe even.
I know, because could, if I became besties with your boyfriend and you were like, I don't like that. And I wouldn't be able to say, like, we're just your friends. You can't defend it anymore.
Right.
You're like,
and you're really chummy with my boyfriend. And like, there's no vibe. And like, the thing is if you can't speak freely in front of him because there's that thing, then something's wrong. But
like, if you and my boyfriend went out to buy sneakers, just the two of you, because he's the best at sneaker buying, and you were in town, I wouldn't be sitting at home going, why are they out together?
Right. What are they talking about?
What are they doing? Because
should I interrupt?
Yeah. Or like, I'm gonna grill him, or like, I wouldn't, because I don't get that vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I will
also, he is great at sneaker buying, for the record. He is a good sneaker buyer. But I still buy what I want. But he is gentle when telling me that he wouldn't have bought that pair.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
But yeah, so I think it's, it's age and trust and reading the room and like knowing what you know about a person. And
I think age is a big one, because it's like, I think I would have vibed out with wrong people, and like,
but I also try to be
bad.
I have a lot of male friends that I was friends with before they found their partner. Right. So like, my best friend from college is a dude, and he found his spouse a few years after college. And like, I had to make a point to like a little bit back off.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not ending friendships. I'm not doing that, but I have to be a little slightly less friendly.
Yeah.
Because I don't want her to think there's a vibe.
And there's also like, there's a certain thing that belongs only to the two of you now. Not you guys, to them. There's a certain thing that just belongs to them. And even if you had that with that person before, it's kind of less yours now. So be a different friend. I don't know.
Exactly. So like, but if I go to lunch with him, I don't want her thinking anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, right. And in this way, I will sleep with all my male friends, because all of their wives trust me. That's where I'm going with this. No, that was a joke, you guys.
Yeah. I don't even like, there's no way that I would take you saying that as anything but a joke, because your vibe is right.
That's right. I got good vibe, man.
Good vibes.
Yeah. Got mad good vibes. One day we'll see each other in person. I swear it's going to happen. We've been thwarted. We were thwarted again this last weekend, you guys.
I'm like, I'm not supposed to see Carrie in person. This is crazy.
It's never happening.
It's so insane.
Do you even exist? Do you have legs? I don't know. All right. So Rachel says she's leaving.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. Then we cut to
school.
Oh, Chilton. Right. Everyone is mad. She tries to hand her the notes from science class as a way.
It's called Mary again, but this time she's Typhoid Mary.
I thought it was Mary Magdalene.
Oh, but that's the same as Virgin Mary. That is Virgin Mary, no?
Mary Magdalene was.
She was the sex worker.
The sex worker.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's right. So she was the opposite of the Virgin Mary.
So everyone was just named Mary in the Bible.
Yes, correct. Okay. Yes.
Cool. I thought I read that Bible, but I was wrong.
But there's a callback to earlier this season when they called her Mary, meaning virgin. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But now she's Typhoid Mary. Everyone's avoiding her.
And I love that Rory. See, again, I admire it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't talk to Paris about like, why are you mad at me now? Whatever it is, just tell me what it is so that I can tell you how wrong you are. And that's not how she's phrasing it, but I wouldn't push it. I'd just be like, you know what? I'm going to take my energy and put it somewhere else because there are other people in this school and I would just be shy around them because I would not be able to stand up for, why are you mad at me? Let me fix this. We were just friends. But Rory does it and good on her. Paris finally tells her it's because have fun at PJ Harvey. And Rory straight up says, you know, this dude is lying.
Yep.
And I have to believe that Paris, as soon as she hears that, knows.
Exactly. I have to believe that Paris knows better, that she knows that Rory does not like this guy. She just doesn't like him.
Yeah, but meanwhile, she threatens her with, now Paris is the student editor.
Oh, my God.
Which sucks because Rory wants to write. And now Paris is giving the jobs to the Paris Posse instead of to the correct people. You're already being a bad editor. You like the Paris Posse thing?
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love that I was consulted.
And you know what? I was given grace because I wrote the Paris pose and Dolores wrote back, yeah, Paris Posse is pretty good. I'm like, I knew I should have checked the spelling to that. I knew it. 2
Posse.
S's. I knew it.
The Posse.
The pose, the Paris pose.
The Paris pose. I'm going to call them the Paris pose now.
I like it.
As a callback to your typo about a conversation I was not invited to.
Oh, and so, okay, did you catch, and you said something about this final scene at Chilton, the Paris Posse is standing on the stairs very specifically.
Yes.
Right?
Why are they posing? Speaking of posing.
I looked it up, and it is in reference to the Heathers movie.
Oh,
but I couldn't find the scene that it,
it correlates to.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was like exactly
we gotta watch Heathers
scene.
now.
Yeah, we do, and I've seen it before.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I mean, it's a classic Mean Girls. It's basically Mean Girls. Yeah. All right, I'll watch it and let you know.
I'll watch it with you.
No, you get all wishy-washy about watching it.
I need to have opinions. Okay, so that's poor Rory. And then apparently that's the last day of school. So have fun in summer.
So we had a whole school year since we started.
Yeah.
And no Halloween.
We had Halloween once. No, we didn't.
Because I was waiting.
Oh, you like Halloween.
But we went from snowy scenes to end of school pretty quick.
I guess so. The last couple, they weren't wearing a coat, were they?
Yeah, you're right.
I could be wrong about that.
I don't know. I don't remember spring happening, but okay.
Timelines are a bit wonky.
Yeah. But let's assume this was a school year and they're posing at the end. And I'm like, that's weird. It looked like an album cover or something.
Yeah.
Then this is one of the weirdest, greatest scenes. Can we go to Lorelai skipping down the stairs for her date? And she's skipping down. She looks great. I just think she's so pretty.
I love the dress.
Everything she wears looks great on her. So she skips down. The door is banging. She's like, you're early. And what did I say?
You said it's going to be Luke. And I'm like, how would she know that? It was Luke.
It was Luke. She thinks it's going to be Max and it's Luke instead. And what does he say?
He actually takes a very vulnerable moment to put down his tool. I think he came for the toolbox to talk to Lorelai.
Obviously.
To say this. So he puts down the toolbox and goes, so Rachel left. And they're, of course, about to have a moment, but she is obviously ready for a date. Here comes Max.
Max walks in.
And oh my God, the conversation they had, I was so glad that you were reacting to this conversation.
I was like, oh my God, they're finally happy. I wrote it down. I wrote Max v. Luke because they're both alpha mailing each other in their own stupid ways. Mm-hmm. And they're doing this like awkward tit for tat. He's like, we're going out. And he's like, great, then catch me tomorrow. And she's like, okay. And he's like, not too early. She's going to be up late tonight. And Luke's like, I don't know. It goes back and forth. You probably wrote down the entire exchange.
I didn't because I'm
trying
not to do that too hard, but he's basically saying, well, no matter what time, I am going to see her every day. I'm here all the time.
Right.
And Max goes, well, you're not going to be here tonight because we're about to go on the date. And this isn't exactly, but I love Lorelai's line, and I'm sure I wrote it down. Yes. I just wanted to make sure you guys are done swinging those things around.
I love that. I love that line. You're done swinging those things around. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Which means that Lorelai did clock that Luke was being weird.
In that moment, they were being so over the top that I'm glad I was like, please say something, Lorelai. This is so awkward. Yeah. So I'm glad they didn't make her, look at the sky like, oh, what's that?
Right.
Yeah.
And because they were about to like fight each other. It was so ridiculous. I mean, I'm glad the writers didn't make them physically fight because that was not called for in this scene. Mm-hmm. But the awkwardness of being like, oh, well, I'll see her again. Oh my God.
That was really weird.
That was great. That was great.
I was even like, Luke, not you. Ooh.
I know. Luke was being cringy. Max was being a douche. It was just the best. I was just leaned in.
To me, I feel like Max was being Max. And this is, to me, Luke never kind of...
But Luke has shown a weird, aggressive side. Remember when he tried to kill Dean?
Yes. But
in the street?
For his fake daughter. I've never seen him do it.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But so Luke has this like slightly unhinged vibe about him, which is like you could work with if you wanted to date him. Just be like, I'm dating a guy who's like 8% completely unhinged. Okay. But so that 8% came out in this like hallway thing. And then Luke leaves and Lorelai and Max proceed to have the grossest fight I have ever seen in my life.
Then you've lived a nice life, but yeah, it was icky.
A really sheltered life.
I just told you somebody cheated on me the whole time. What kind of conversations were we having?
That was lovely, yeah. It was so gross, and nobody cheated on anyone. They were on a break. Again, this is very Friends. We were on a break. Lorelai, he's like, I didn't think you were sitting at home. And then she's like, I wasn't, whatever a male equivalent of a convent is. And he goes, and I said it in my head. And then Max said it out loud, monastery. And she goes, what? And he's like, that's the male equivalent of convent, which is kind of what I was thinking. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm Max in this scene where I wanted to.
And she goes, thank you, Mr. Medina.
Yeah. And I felt like a jerk because I thought it first. But I'm not as bad as...
But you were not in the middle of telling...
Right, I wasn't in a heated argument and realizing that this, like, read the room again. So... But
at the end of this, he says there's only one thing to do. She says break up. He says marry me?
Marry me.
Excuse me? Did you see me barf a little in my mouth?
That was the most painful thing. There's only one thing to do. I think we should break up. Marry me.
And
what?
That's your proposal.
And I think he says it later, but he's like, we need to break bad patterns by getting married. That's what he defends this act as.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, we have learned a lot in the last 25 years. But like if you have a bad pattern with a person, marriage is not going to fix your bad pattern.
Oh no. Like, it's going to exasperate it.
Yes.
It's going to elevate, escalate. It's going to be the whole situation. Cause if it's bad now, imagine when you move in, but she says that's not a proposal. And I'm so glad because that could be just what happens in shows a lot of times is he proposed. Now I take away everything I was upset and let me enjoy this moment. And it's like, no,
it's so romantic.
Make this moment
I know.
Enjoyable.
Are there fans who think this is romantic?
Not that.
Okay.
She does
coming
say
up.
It's supposed to be music playing, romantic lighting, subtle buildup, 1,000 yellow roses, candles, a horse. And then they just go on their date. Like,
yes, I know. They're like, okay, time to go out on a date. She gives like a whole speech about like what the proposal should be and why she's not saying yes right now.
Yeah.
But she didn't say no either.
Well, she said it's not a proposal. So to me, that's not even saying no. It's saying I reject your question.
Yeah.
I reject that I was.
But she did not say
that I was proposed to.
Right. But she's not saying the reason it wasn't like my answer is no to how you asked just now. And if you ask in a different way, it's still going to be no because it's not about how you asked. It's about the question itself. And unequivocally, I do not want to marry you. She doesn't say that.
She doesn't say it. But to me, if I just told you the only thing that we could do now is break up, and then I told you that your marriage proposal sucks, like that consecutively.
Yeah.
Like we didn't break up. We went on the date, but I don't really want to marry you. I think that's clear.
Can you imagine how awkward the date is going to be after this?
Right.
But as they're leaving the house, though, I thought it would be funny if Luke was still outside with like listening in because that would have been funny. Yeah, no, he's not out there.
No, but I do think as adults, you can still have a nice time and just go, okay, that wasn't working, but there's something that you need to work out there. If they're saying, they actually said the words, I'm sick of it too.
Yeah.
And then you proposed.
Yeah.
I think what you're supposed to do is talk about what you're sick of and see if you can break the pattern.
Right.
That should be the date.
And it was like he wanted to like win a fight, you know, like I'm going to win a fight by derailing the argument by throwing a curveball in here, which is like, it's like, I don't know, if you're fighting about like who feeds the dog and then you're like, we should move to France.
Right.
And you're like, what, you know, then you never resolve the dog issue. That's not a good example, but you know what I mean? Like you're not ending an argument. You're starting like a whole new.
Yeah.
I don't know.
To me, it goes directly with, and I actually never put this together. Max and Tristan are behaving the same. In the next scene, Tristan says, I'm a little tired of this game. It's starting to irritate me.
I know.
And
Tristan is so deluded.
Yeah.
That he thinks they're playing a cat and mouse game. Rory has no idea she's playing a game. She's been straightforward.
She has been straightforward.
Verbally.
She even said, I'm never going anywhere with you.
Right.
And he starts bringing up the price of the ticket.
Yeah,
she said they cost your daddy a lot. I like
your daddy. I know, but I also like Tristan's logic that like she won't go with me. I'll tell her they were expensive and then she'll want to go.
Mm-hmm.
These tickets were a lot of money. Oh, they were? Oh, I better go. I don't want you to waste money.
And in all fairness, women used to have to be so polite that you were wrong as a woman to let this man down over and over again. That was the climate. But
I'm glad Rory's more evolved.
Right. I agree. And I didn't have as much strength as she did to be so straightforward and direct. And he even said, I don't even like this dude. And PJ Harvey's a woman. Like you didn't even you did the most minimal thing.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And he takes her books. Oh my God.
He snatches her books from her like a freaking like cartoon again.
And she lets him, she's just like, fine, take my books. And here's Dean. And now I totally get it. From Dean's perspective, Rory and Tristan look like they're flirting because that's how high school kids flirt. I got your books. No, you don't, blah, blah, blah. Like it does look like, and Dean, Rory saying Tristan is mean to me. And Dean obviously knows this is the kind of guy who's mean when he likes you. This is the kind of me, what am I supposed to do as Rory? This is not the kind of like I want. So yeah. She finally
that was rough where he sees it from a distance and he's holding her books and she's like walking away. And then she's like, oh my God. And he's like, I came all the way over here to find you with him. And she's like, I hate him.
Yeah.
And then she says,
she started to front. She's like, that wasn't me at your house. I was just saying stuff at the meeting.
I'm not talking about the Troubadour speech.
Yeah. And sorry. Yes. Sorry.
I've put up. Yeah.
And So Dean's like, fine, I'll go. And finally, Rory says,
no, don't go.
I love you, you idiot.
I love you. And they run up to each other and just go at it. There was a lot of...
While Tristan is watching.
Oh, yeah. Tristan watches.
And he has to set the books down and just mope out of there. Oh,
he's going to go enjoy PJ Harvey by himself.
You know what? Go to PJ Harvey. Pick up another girl you don't care about. What the hell?
Right. Go with Summer.
Yeah.
I mean, she won't go. I mean, tell her they were expensive and then she'll want to go.
Everyone in that school has money. Nobody cares about your expensive
I know.
tickets.
She's like, I could buy them too. Right. So like I said, their breakup was stupid and they should get back together. And they did.
They did.
Yeah.
And here comes the Yellow Daisies.
Yes.
Now, this is considered at the end of the whole thing, Lorelai is sitting in 1,000 yellow daisies.
Yes.
Now, how sweet is that until you start thinking about the logistics?
I mean, I'm always a logistics person. I'm willing to... Like when people do giant gestures like this in movies where you're like, I filled the room with balloons. And I'm like, that is a lot of rubber waste. Mm-hmm. Like that. You just killed the planet with balloons.
Now, or let's say she asked for the balloons because she did ask for the daisies. 1, did I ask them at my place of work?
Yes.
2,
how are customers checking into this hotel now?
3, why are you at home? What? You're not even at work.
Wait, Max is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He has to propose to her.
Oh, yeah. And he's at home.
You thought he was going to come out of...
I thought he was going to come out of the side door or something, that he was going to be waiting there to see her reaction to him. No, he's sitting at home waiting by the phone. She walks in. How many vases
How
are
is
there?
She going to clean this up? How is she bringing it home? How is she
They're all
enjoying
going to die at the same time, and then you're going to have 1,000 dead flowers to clean up.
You also run the inn, so you are the one who's going to have to assign people to get rid of
to clean up this mess. Yep.
Why didn't you put it at her house? Why weren't you there to help clean it up? Why are you proposing over the phone?
You could have put it on her porch. That would have been great. You come home, there's 1,000 flowers on your porch.
Right.
So that you can sleep there. You enjoy them. No, nice. At your place of work, nobody can check into the hotel today. The manager's boyfriend did a gesture. Please wait outside while we clear a path to the desk.
Now, the visual itself, gorgeous. And gorgeous. I know that
Love it. It's iconic. I mean, is this an iconic scene?
It is, which is why it blew my mind. You know, you give, at the end of every episode, you give a number, like a score.
And the other time when I said something yellow flowers.
You gave the score of yellow flower. It was the only time you deviated from a number scoring.
I did. I know.
My head exploded. And I was like, okay.
Oh, I just got chills. I just got chills myself. Yeah. I don't know why I gave the score of yellow flower. I was trying to think of something that is not a number. And that was the first thing that came to mind. That's weird. Because this is weird. Very clearly an iconic scene. Like
it is.
If you want to define
iconic that there have been guys who came into the Gilmore Girls thread and said, hey, I am about to propose to my girlfriend. Can you guys help me with what would be like a Gilmore Girl experience, like part of the experience I want it to reflect Gilmore Girls. And everyone's like, 1,000 yellow daisies. So
yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people have been proposed. And I think 1,000 might be a lot, but also the visual was for us. Those were like 10,000 yellow daisies.
Was it? Has someone counted? I'm sure there is someone out there who has counted.
I haven't counted, Please. But I did like a very, because I watched it so many times. The first time I enjoyed the visual. I was just like, wow, this really is romantic. She's sitting in the middle of it. It's just overwhelming.
And her face acting was so good in that scene because we don't get the reveal of what she's looking at right away. Mm-hmm. So she walks in with awe. And I'm like, what is she looking at? What is she looking at? What is she looking at? Because I had forgotten that was in the list of things. Because I was busy writing and I didn't clock that was something she had just said. So I was like, what is, and then the camera pans over and the camera work is so great. It pans very slowly around the room. And there's
her sitting in the middle of it. The visual is gorgeous.
It's just great.
But once I watched it a few times, I'm like, wait a minute. In that bucket alone, there are like 30 flowers.
Right.
1,000, you get to 1,000 pretty quickly if that's how many are just behind her, you know?
Right.
So, and that's another thing. There's threads about like, that's not 1,000 yellow roses. That's not the exact number. And because the whole thing was like, oh, it's exactly 1,000.
Right.
So, but that's visual. That's for
whatever.
us.
I know the visual works. It's so great. And the props department got to make all of the Yellow Daisies.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And then a lot of Gilmore Girls is just a beautiful scene.
Yeah, that was very pretty.
Yeah,
it's
even
true.
Miss Patty's earlier in the episode where the ballerinas are doing.
Oh, the Swan Lake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I know. I love it. It was pretty. But also in my head, I'm like, logistics.
Yeah.
It's going to be a pain in the ass to clean that up. Those pedals got to go somewhere.
Yep. Yeah.
Then we go to.
It's basically the final scene is just. First of all, Lorelai wants to tell Rory first about this engagement.
That's right.
That she didn't answer yet. She just has been proposed to.
Right.
She sees Luke first, and I love Luke's semi-directness. He's like, what is it about? Is it about work? And I think once he knows that it's not about work, like, what else could it be? She wants to tell Rory first. What? She got a new dress? That's not it.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was very awkward to run into Luke first when she wants to tell Rory first. I think Luke got it, that something exciting happened with a boy because, I don't know. And then also, doesn't Lorelai give him one of the flowers? And she says, flowers on me today, or like everyone in town gets a flower.
Yeah.
Something like that. So Luke realizes that that's what it was. I thought he was going to say, choose me in that moment, but he doesn't.
Oh.
Or he was going to confess in that moment because I thought that was going to be the cliffhanger.
Oh. Okay.
Was that he confesses in that moment, but he doesn't. He just takes the flower and looks wistful. Then they run. We see them both running toward each other. They embrace in the middle of town and the camera backs up through the gazebo. End season. Wow. And then I was like, but Luke didn't get to say anything yet. And you were like, gotta wait till next season. And I was like, damn you, TV writers. But I really thought we were going to get a Luke I thought the cliffhanger was going to be a Luke confession and Lorelai having to choose what her heart wants between Luke and Max. And we didn't end that way. We ended Luke has to tell her next season,
and that
which for
sense.
Us is next week.
I didn't think of that because Lorelai backed up when Luke was clearly with someone else. So I think Luke backing up when she's clearly with someone else makes sense. So I was really glad he didn't step in and go him or me type thing because
I mean, I see why. Like, I definitely see why. And also it does make us need to tune in next season because it's obviously coming. Because freaking Rachel Rachel outstayed her welcome by 3 episodes, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I have trivia from this episode. Season 1, episode 21. Love, Daisies and Troubadours, May 10th, 2001. Okay. So I know you don't want to talk about the Troubadours, but the new Troubadour who runs the Kinko's outside of Stars Hollow.
Long hair guy, yeah.
Yes. His name is Dave Gruber Allen. Gruber is a nickname. He played a counselor in a series in 1999 that was critically acclaimed, but was canceled after 1 season. What is the name of that show?
He played a counselor?
Played a counselor in a school. This show only had 1 season, but it's still being referenced.
Firefly.
No.
I don't know.
It is Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, I never saw that. Did you see it?
Don't yet. I need to watch it with you.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay. I won't watch it. And I'll avoid spoilers.
Oh, thank you. Because I have so much to say about this, and now I'm not going to say it because now we have to watch it together.
Okay.
It was one season, 18 episodes. It was produced by Judd Apatow. It was the start of a lot. There's a lot of stars in there. Seth Rogen, Jason Segel, Busy Phillips. That's just to name a few of them. Everyone in that has gone out to be like a superstar that you would know their name, and they were playing high school kids. I don't think they were in high school, but they were very, very, very young.
Cool.
Such a good show.
I've heard it's great. Everyone says it's great. No one ever says it's not great. I don't even know if Firefly has 1 season or 2 or 3. I just know people were mad. It was canceled. I gotta watch Freaks and Geeks, and I might do it without your permission because you already spent your wait for me ticket on Gilmore Girls. So I watch what I want. You don't tell me what to watch.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, yeah, you're a person and you get to do whatever you want, but
that's right.
I'm totally comfortable. Okay.
You just control my entire viewing habits. You've gone mad with power.
No.
I gave you Gilmore Girls. Okay. Tell me what to watch.
No, I'll get over it. I'll be okay.
Have you done Pluribus yet?
Oh, yeah. I'm caught up.
Okay, good. We got to talk about that later. Different podcast. We got to talk about Pluribus. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my next one. In this Gilmore Girls episode, Tristan tries to win Rory over with the PJ Harvey tickets, and he fails. But we all get to hear a bit of a PJ Harvey song when it hilariously played in what scene of the episode?
I'm not that familiar with PJ Harvey, to be honest. It wasn't at the very end, was it? It's not the running toward each other scene.
No.
When was it?
It was when Rory and Deed were making out.
That's nice. That's nice.
I thought it was funny. And then the final one is Kirk, played by Sean Gunn, was in 2 scenes in this episode. Which 2 scenes?
He was in the town hall meeting. And then he was in the diner, right?
Mm-mm.
Didn't he say he got moist?
What? No. Who got moist? What?
Didn't somebody drop coffee on him?
Oh my God. Is that him too? I think you're right. You're right.
I thought
you're
so.
Right. Yeah, the coffee was spilled on him. He was in 3 scenes then.
Okay, then I missed the second one.
You missed the last one. He was the flower delivery guy.
Shut up.
Yes.
Chemda.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes. So far, he's been the swan handler guy, the DSL installer, a townsman a few times, and now the flower delivery guy.
Oh my God. I did not clock that. I thought we had seen Sean Gunn for this episode. I turned my radar off. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I was so proud of myself for noticing him twice.
That is so exciting. I love it. Still with the Sean Gunn blindness.
Oh my God.
I hope that one day you run into him on the street and he like notices you, but you don't notice it.
Yeah, he knows who I am, but I'm like, hi. And he's like, hi, it's me. And I'm like, yes, sorry.
I have a boyfriend.
I have a boyfriend. Don't make it weird. Or I marry Sean Gunn. Like that's the only 2 outcomes. Like, and I'll be like, isn't it funny? Like at our vows, I'll be like, and it's funny that I didn't recognize you for 21 episodes straight. And now you're the love of my life.
God, it's been 21 episodes.
I know. We did it. Season 1 in the books.
Season 1. That was the final episode. We're going to do season 2 right away. I'm so excited about that. But do you have predictions?
Well, yeah, Luke and Lorelai have to get together now. We still have to kill Max off.
But she was just proposed to.
Yeah, but I think Max gets rabies and dies.
Okay.
I assume. Specifically rabies. Mm. It's pretty rare.
Yeah. Wherever that deer came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bueno. I think that, well, now I guess the next episode will be the summer. Right? Does season 2? Okay. I wonder if season 2 begins with the school year because we're doing like the show itself is taking a break for the summer. So the next season would begin in the fall, like a school year would be. So we miss the entire summer in Gilmore World. So I think that's what happens. I think we start the next episode is
we missed
in the
funeral.
fall.
Max dies, and we just
Max dies
school.
in the funeral.
Okay.
It's really hard to dispose of a body when they die of rabies because it's so contagious.
All right, you all. Thanks for listening and sharing the show. We are growing our Gilmore friends. Have a good night. We'll see you.
Have a great night.
One.
See you season 2.
Whoop.